Could this be the end of Google? Google has plans on making their search engine subscription-based in the near future, which means that anyone who wants to get quality search results on Google will need to pay a monthly subscription in order to have access to the artificial intelligence-powered search engine. But this comes with some dangers and drawbacks that could affect the lives of citizens all over the world. We also need to remember that Google was indeed the better search engine in years past, and that's primarily the reason they are so dominant, with over 90% of search engine market share. What should Google have to worry about? Well, there are rumors that Apple could be investing in and inventing their own search engine, and I bet most of you did not know this, but did you know that Google actually has a business deal with Apple to make Google Search the default search engine on Mac OS and iOS devices? If Apple pulls out of this, it could mean a loss of up to 20% market share on Google's behalf. However, Google will likely still be very dominant, at over 70% market share, but other alternative search engines are becoming of interest to many people. Due to privacy concerns surrounding Google's data collection, dissatisfactory results with Google, and an overwhelming amount of ads and sponsored results have turned what was once the best search engine into one of the worst. Google's artificial intelligence model also threatens the autonomy and freedom of citizens all over the world, and we will delve into why that is the case a bit later on. Google was founded in 1998 by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Google was launched as an attempt to get people off of Alta Vista, Yahoo, and other dominant search engines back in the day, but Google actually had something that none of the others had, and that was quality search results, meaning that if you used Google Search, you would likely find what you're looking for, but that is no longer the case. Some of the dangers presented with artificial intelligence search engines are as follows. Increased incarceration rates. With no input or control over your own queries, it is inevitable that this could have various risks associated with it. Google may suspect you to be doing suspicious activity if you look up a word like terrorist, and the artificial intelligence would likely have some way of getting that information to your government agency, whether it's through a malicious backdoor made by Google themselves, or the artificial intelligence is so sophisticated that it will automatically red flag anything it thinks is suspicious. This could see a huge spike in incarceration rates all over the world, as citizens will be getting convicted of a crime they did not even commit. Do you not see how this poses a threat to our lives? It's also possible that Google might censor or refuse to talk about certain topics, phrases, and queries with its artificial intelligence-powered search engine, meaning you will not find what you're looking for in that particular topic or subject, which ultimately defeats the purpose of using Google altogether. For example, if you ask the artificial intelligence about a world event such as the war on Gaza or Ukraine, Google's artificial intelligence might respond with something like, "If you would like more information on this, I recommend you search it up on Google," which gives you no answer whatsoever. And the artificial intelligence downright refused to answer your question. I suppose now's the time to switch to DuckDuckGo. Google will also leave millions of poverty-stricken people stranded, left with no choice other than to use the substandard version of Google, but those who are not willing to pay will also suffer if they do not find a suitable alternative search engine, as the artificial intelligence version of Google will likely be 100 times better than regular Google, but the price which the citizens must pay for this is ultimately not worth it. Google search should not be so bad that we are forced into paying for it, but those cash-grabbing bastards only care about one thing, and one thing only, the almighty dollar. That's far more important to Google than serving their citizens quality search results. If Google wants to remain as the top player, they better pull their finger out of their ass and start paying attention to what's going on around them, because if they don't, more and more people will slowly stop using this garbage disposal service. What should you do if you cannot afford to pay for Google? If you are objected to Google's subscription-based search engine, or you are privacy concerned, there are plenty of alternatives that you can try out. DuckDuckGo offers privacy-conscious users a private alternative to Google Search. DuckDuckGo does not keep a single log of your data, search history, etc., and they do not collect, sell, or store anything from your searches. Ads are not shown based on profiling, ads are shown based on keywords. The only downside is that DuckDuckGo can sometimes miss obvious things, or it may be substandard when it comes to finding locations, phone numbers, etc. However, if your real concern is privacy, then the trade-off is worth it, and you will get Bing-like results. As DuckDuckGo relies on Microsoft's Bing search engine, although it chucks in some of its own algorithms too. If you're a tree hugger, you will love Ecosia. Ecosia is an eco-friendly search engine, which also respects user privacy, and your searches go towards planting a tree, and any ad revenue that Ecosia makes also goes towards planting trees. And while some might argue that this is a fad, or greenwashing, which it kind of is, it's a viable alternative to Google, and also uses Bing as the underlying search engine, coupled with its own algorithms. Ecosia is somewhat a con, because it gets you hooked by fooling you into thinking you can save the planet, but people like me see reality for what it really is, and the truth is that Ecosia does not make any significant difference to make the planet more green. They are actually fighting a losing battle, with more trees being cut down or destroyed than planted. How can you possibly say you're saving the planet? Let me make this clear to everyone, bullshit doesn't slip past my mouth or eyes. I know bullshit when I see bullshit, so if you think Ecosia can save the planet, you might need to get a reality check. Lastly, if you want a search engine with Google-like results, then Startpage is worth considering. It uses Google to get Google-like results, but implements privacy-focused stuff such as an anonymous view. To view web pages with extra anonymity, there are no trackers or ads that can make a profile on you, because Startpage prevents them from doing so. And to top off the cherry on the cake, Startpage doesn't keep a single log of activity. Even the government has not been able to get data when requesting it from Startpage, because it does not have any data to give away to begin with, like DuckDuckGo. So you cannot give away what you don't have, right? Major controversy surrounding Startpage sparked after it was bought up by a company called System1. Many presumed it would lose its astounding privacy qualities and quirks, but that's not the case at all. Startpage still remains as one of the best privacy-focused search engines, and it does not keep a single log of any user activity. I certainly hope that we learned something from today's video, and if you did learn something, I would really appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button. I make educational content on technology to help the less tech-savvy people out there. What is the future like for Google? For now, we must remain agnostic, and I am uncertain of what the future holds for Google and the citizens using it, but it is definitely likely that we will have to accept paying for Google search in the future, and another certainty is that we can expect our governments to have even more surveillance over us. With the power of Google search with AI, this will allow for governments to gain more control over the citizens and their data, whether we like it or not. And those who don't like Google will have to find something else that's a viable alternative. The problem is, when Google is shit, everything else is even worse, because whoever relies on Google for their search results, if Google's results are poor, it will not make a difference whether you're using Startpage or Google. The same goes for Bing-based search engines. If Bing is crap, the Bing-reliant search engines will also reflect those results. So if you really want an alternative search engine, I would suggest you make your own. But the unfortunate reality is that not everyone is capable of doing that. Programming is a skill set that only so many people have, and don't tell me that artificial intelligence can do the coding for you. If you do not understand programming languages, how the fuck can artificial intelligence help you? Like seriously, did you get that idea off the back of a cereal box? If you cannot make your own search engine, just try one of the many alternatives that exist, and see which one gives you the most satisfactory results for your queries. Using Google search could land you in jail in the future, so I would strongly advise against using it. Once it goes subscription-based, you're seriously better off using DuckDuckGo, or a combination of search engines. You might even consider using a crawler like Metagare. But crawlers are not necessary anymore and don't offer a set of astounding features compared to other alternative search engines, but a crawler might be handy if you need to get multiple results from different sources. This is the beginning of the end for Google. What was once the best search engine is now the absolute worst, and now, your life is about to be endangered or destroyed because of those greedy motherfuckers at Google. So before the police come and arrest you for suspected suspicious activity, get off Google search right now, and start using DuckDuckGo, Startpage, or a decent privacy-focused alternative, because you do not want to end up in jail for a non-existent crime, unless you don't care about privacy, or you believe that, if you have nothing to hide, why should you worry? When the cops come knocking down your door and taking you to jail, that's when you should worry, but by then, it's already too late, and once they roll out their AI search engine, Google might be able to destroy more lives than ever before in its entire history. It's always better to be safe than sorry, so get off Google now. So, what did we learn from this video? We learned that Google is a greedy cunt, and that we need to fight for our rights. We need to stop Google from destroying innocent people's lives, and now that Google is going to make their AI search engine subscription-based, this will pose a significant danger to our online freedoms, autonomy, control, and liberty. Google wants us to be like slaves, the slaves from the 1800s, working like dirty little chimney sweepers. And you know what, Google? Fuck you. If you want that, that's fine. Go and catch all the gullible fish that are happy to pay for your AI search engine. Just don't force your bullshit onto those who do not want to be part of it. And if you want to make an example out of someone, that's fine as well. Just don't go too far and get the whole entire population under arrest, whatever you do. This also shows the increasing power of our police forces and governments. As Google is the most used search engine, it will have the data of pretty much all the citizens that live in different countries, giving the police more power to charge and arrest those who have been convicted of a crime. And even if you did not commit a crime, do you think the police force gives a flying fuck about that? No, they do not. They just gotta do their job, and if that means destroying a person's life, then that is very sad and unfortunate. But together, Google and the police have the ability to destroy everyone's lives, if they really wanted to. However, it's not likely that the cops will come and arrest you out of nowhere. They have to have a reasonable or probable cause to even proceed to an arrest in the first place. But if the cops think you're a terrorist, there's nothing you can do about it. You can thank Google for completely ruining your life and taking away your freedom and autonomy. We would not even be talking about this if I did not confirm that this is indeed the future of Google, but the evidence online really does suggest that we are headed. In fact, Google has always had plans on making their search engine subscription-based. It's just that it was not until recently where they want this idea to come to fruition. But once their search engine goes subscription-based, you're gonna see a whole lot of crazy shit, not least, huge spikes in the rate at which people are going to prison. Which means far more people will end up in prison for victimless crimes, or non-existent crimes. So once Google's AI shows your IP address as a red flag, the cops can now come into your house, suspect you of being a terrorist, and place you under arrest, possibly with some hefty charges for suspected terrorism. But what if you are not at all a terrorist? Well, this is the new normal. You better be prepared to spend the rest of your life in jail if you decide to use Google's AI search in the future. It's an extremely scary but very real reality we will have to face, whether we like it or not. Also, those who cannot ditch Google but cannot pay for their AI model will be left with the substandard free version, which will offer shit results, making them potentially switch to an alternative search engine such as Bing or DuckDuckGo. Google does not care about us. You must remember that corporations never do anything right by us consumers, and they secretly work with governments and police around the world to gain even more power and control over the citizens. And now look. It finally seems like Google is going to have what they always wanted, complete and total control over the entire population of the planet, with the ability to automatically report any so-called suspicious activity to your nearest police department. And now you can expect to spend the rest of your life rotting away in jail for doing absolutely no wrongdoing whatsoever. So if you have learned something from this video, it's that Google now poses a serious danger to your life, and if you want to continue living an unrestricted life, you should stop using Google search right this instant, and I really mean stop using it, because all you're doing is freely selling your data to third parties, data brokers, and what's worse, your government and police have this data too, and they are the ones with all the power. So if they take action on a complaint from Google that you're a suspected terrorist, you cannot do nothing about it. You just have to wait until the cops come knocking on your door, and then you will get a nasty surprise. So please stop using Google right now, unless you want to end up in jail for doing no crime whatsoever. Stop these criminals from taking advantage of you. Yeah, I called Google criminals, because the very fucking business model they engage in is fucking criminal. You fucking cunts at Google are so criminal it should be Google being arrested and taken down by the police, not innocent citizens who have done absolutely nothing wrong. Fuck you Google, and fuck you again. Anyway, that will do it for this video folks. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next video. Bye for now.